Facts. We men see white women who date black men as the trash. Guess I'll be trash.
There's a thing I've noticed that white guys do, all right, and it is racist. Whenever they're dating a woman for the first time, they always ask them eventually, have you ever, see?
Is it bad that, like, I low-key, like, understand why white people get mad that they white girlfriends done got hit by us before?
A man left me at a bar after he found out I slept with a black man.
A lot of white men are really like insecure whenever you talk about, like, you know, you've ever dated a black man or something. They get so insecure about it.
So I live in a small town, right? It's a predominantly white area. And one thing I've learned about dating in this area is if you want to make like a certain white dude mad, let him find out that the white girl he has a crush on is into black dudes.
This is reason 10,000 why racism is rooted in jealousy. Tell me why I received this message of a white man saying, well, you look like you've dated black men, and if you have, none of us want you.
I found why white men don't like us.
There's only ugly guys, so...
So Shane Gillis just told a joke on SNL about how apparently white guys ask their possible girlfriends or straight up girlfriends if they've ever been with a black guy.
As a black man, there's nobody out there that will sexualize you more than a white man does.
To all the white women, how many times have you been on a date with a white man and they ask if you've been with a black person before?
What if I told you that some men instantly lose interest in a woman, not because of what she is, but because of who she dated in the past? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Bernadette is my name. You're most welcome to today's video. Some creators are sharing that sometimes when a white man approaches a white woman or is interested in a white woman and immediately asks her if she has ever dated a black man or if she has ever been with a black guy. And honestly, this is sparking huge online debates. So we are going to watch these clips of these creators who are sharing this. And if you can relate to this, please feel free to share it in the comments. Hit that like button and let's get into this. I'll catch up with you.
A lot of people judge us because he's black and I'm white, but I don't really think that matters.
I grew up in North Carolina. I went to a white school. You know, I was the only black guy playing basketball, you know, just doing my own stuff. I'm the only black redneck in town, and I get a lot of judgment on it.
And I love him anyway.
The cow boots. Country.
Cow boots, the country boots.
Facts. We men see white women who date black men as the trash. Guess I'll be trash.
For a white man, cheating is one thing, but I feel like whenever a white man thinks his girlfriend is cheating with a black man, it becomes like a whole different thing, and I don't understand why. If y'all remember Kayla Malik, her ex Evan was really abusive, and there's this clip going around of him being like, oh, I bet you F this black guy. You F this black guy, didn't you? It was a big black guy. And I'm wondering, like, what'd be going through y'all's heads? Like, why is that worse than just cheating regularly? Like, why does it matter who she cheated with?
Is it bad that, like, I low-key, like, understand why white people get mad that they white girlfriends done got hit by us before? And it's like, that's respect to us, bro. Like, we some superior niggas, you feel me? And based on the mathematics, I can't talk about another man. I'm just going by online studies, you feel me? You know we packing, you heard? So it's like, damn, imagine you white and you just like, imagine there's two white mans, right? And my white girl, she only done messed with little white boys and shit. And then bro, imagine bro is white and his girl done got cracked by like 4 members of the basketball team that don't even care, just like niggas that just fuck bitches all day. And it's like, damn, like, your girl's getting ran through by some niggas, bro. Like, I get what they saying, man.
Wait, what's one thing to make a guy more attractive?
Definitely confidence, because I feel like a lot of guys are very insecure.
I like that. Confidence is important. Do you meet a lot of guys that are not confident?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the most unconfident man you have ever met?
I wouldn't say there's one that was the most, but typically a lot of white men are really like insecure whenever you talk about, like, you know, you've ever dated a black man or something. They get so insecure about it. They say you're contaminated and stuff. Like, I've had guys tell me that multiple times.
Really?
Yes, like they
What's
do
up with
not-
these guys, man? They don't sound confident at all.
I know. White men like are the most like unconfident. I don't want to say all of them, but all the ones I've met have always asked the question, have you ever been with a black guy?
I've never asked that question. That's really stupid. Like, that doesn't matter. Just like be confident and like treat the girl good. That's wild.
So I live in a small town, right? It's a predominantly white area. And one thing I've learned about dating in this area is if you want to make like a certain white dude mad, let him find out that the white girl he has a crush on is into black dudes. That boy mad. And as always, I'm not talking about all white men, right? But I'm talking there's a certain type of white dude if he finds out that a white girl likes the white girl that he likes black dudes, homie be all in her comments. Future single mom, all like any polite slur that I'm gonna call it a polite slur. Any polite slur that he can possibly think of is getting thrown in that girl's comments. Personally, I don't understand. If a woman that I like don't like me, I don't care what she does. But boy, oh boy, when that white dude like a particular white girl and she only date black dudes, ooh wee.
There's a thing I've noticed that white guys do, all right, and it is racist. Whenever they're dating a woman for the first time, they always ask them eventually, have you ever, see, I didn't even finish. Every one of you. You gotta find the right time to ask, though. You don't want to go too early with that. You look like a psycho. You don't want to be like on Tinder, like, have you ever had with a black guy before? It's a shameful thing to ask. It's weird. I've done it. One time I was in the car with the girl I was dating at the time. We were driving home from my friend Jamal's house. All right. The girl I was dating at the time, she just goes, Jamal's handsome. I was like, all right. That's fine with me. I'm not insecure or racist or whatever would make me care about that. But she brought it up, so now I can ask without looking like a psycho. So I was like, have you ever, you ever, she goes, ew, no. I was like, Jesus Christ, what are you, racist?
To all the white women, how many times have you been on a date with a white man and they ask if you've been with a black person before? Because I asked some of my white friends this question, and like a lot of the girls were like, this is a question like I've got like.
Yes, so much fucking yes, but black men have asked me too, but for very different reasons. But let me start with this. I'm not raised in the South, I was raised in California, so you think this wouldn't be that prevalent, but it is. I was raised in a household where every older white woman around me told me that if I was ever to date a black man, I would be tainted and a white man would never want me again. Naturally, as who I am, I never gave a single fucking flying fuck. White men ask if you've ever dated a black man because it's rooted in racism and for the fact that they think that they cannot compare sexually. Those are the two things. Mostly racism. Black men ask white women this to make sure that they're not being tokenized. To make sure that you're okay with different cultures. And they also have an issue with white women that only date black men. Because that's fetishization. And just for reference, ladies, the only difference I ever seen in size is that one sits bigger when they're soft and one doesn't. White men tend to be growers. And black men tend to be showers. There's big and small in both. Just for reference. Women, how do you feel about this? And black people, am I wrong? Am I wrong? Did I get this wrong? Or if I'm on the right track here? Let me know. Thank you. Bye.
A man left me at a bar after he found out I slept with a black man.
This is an interesting one. It's one that a lot of white women will understand as well. Because a lot of white men, the racism will be with their girlfriends. If they suggest a black male is attractive, if they talk about an ex that's black, if they bring home a black boyfriend, that's when the real racism's tested. And this isn't all white people, absolutely not, but that's when it's tested. I have an example. Two acquaintances of mine were arguing, and the one says to the other, well, at least my girlfriend didn't go out with black people before me. That's what he said. That's what he said to him. And of all the slurs he had said before, he was talking about his mum, his kids, everything. Of all the slurs, that was the one that upset the guy the most. He's like, how dare you? No, she didn't. There was arguing backwards and forth whether she did. She did. She definitely did. But yeah, that's how you find out.
This is reason 10,000 why racism is rooted in jealousy. Tell me why I received this message of a white man saying, well, you look like you've dated black men, and if you have, none of us want you. I didn't know this was an attitude that a lot of white men hold, but apparently they think that white women who sleep with black men or with brown men, they become tainted in some way, and they no longer want that white woman. But this is absolutely rooted in jealousy, because why would it matter to them unless black men made them feel insecure? There is something about black men sleeping with white women who they view as their possessions that really gets them feeling angry, like they aren't good enough, because let's face it, they aren't. And white men are obsessed with black men's penises. Like, they talk about it often online. You'll see comments like, I bet she takes black dick or whatever. And it's fucking weird and genuinely unsettling how much they talk about black men. If they weren't insecure, if they didn't feel jealous, then why would they talk about it? They wouldn't. Genuinely so embarrassing on their end, because quite literally anybody can see through like what they're doing.
I found why white men don't like us.
There's only ugly guys, so what can you do?
There are ugly dudes everywhere?
I would say, honestly, I've seen a couple guys that were cute, but the one had a girlfriend, it looked like.
Yeah.
So
One, what's your go-to type of guy? What are you looking for?
hopefully black.
Very muscly.
Be above 6 foot, be dark skinned.
Girls are some like BBC lovers, right?
I mean, I guess.
All the dudes are ugly, and then she says she's into black dudes. Black dudes are the ugliest dudes. No offense. For black people on this one, you can have her, I guess. Go make some science experiment babies with these retarded white women.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't want her. You can keep her, in fact. I must say, don't get mad at us, cause your women see how crazy y'all are, see the statistics y'all uphold with children, women, rape, all those things, and then they try to choose a man who's kind. Don't get mad at black people, black men specifically. Just understand your role, maybe be kinder, and maybe they'll want to actually have your babies. But black men, we don't really want your women. So, don't make this the reason why you start to kirk out, no pun intended.
So Shane Gillis just told a joke on SNL about how apparently white guys ask their possible girlfriends or straight up girlfriends if they've ever been with a black guy. And the comment section is going crazy because it's either people who literally have done that, which by the way, that is racist, or people who are calling out how that's racist, and then the people who still actually have that view going, you're overly sensitive. Okay, but let's be real. We already knew this. You're not telling us nothing that we didn't already know. But here's the kicker though. We know your girl's a liar. You see, Snow Bunny's been getting crushed secretly for a really long time. Like a really long time. I mean, we could literally go back to the very beginning of us getting into this country, being taken to this country. You think that the head mistress of the house didn't know that Massa was up there doing stuff with our women? Of course she did, but she was getting cried. And they're still getting cried. They just lying to y'all. Which, by the way, is not no skin off our bones. Not really. Because if we being real, we not there for a long time. We there for a good time. So just remember, the next time that you ask your girl, hey, have you ever been with a black guy before? No. Not in the last few minutes. Especially if they went to college. Oh my. But it's good to know that we on y'all mind that much.
As a black man, there's nobody out there that will sexualize you more than a white man does. Not white women. No other race of women. No other race of man. It's the white man. And if you played sports, or if you've worked in like a kitchen or like a warehouse even, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, if you stand around a white dude long enough, there's like a 80% chance he's going to ask how big you are, and like how many women you be with. And like, it's really uncomfortable, bruh. It's really uncomfortable because it's like, you won't even be talking about anything sexual. But if it's slightly adjacent to it, they're going to try and work that into the conversation somehow because they have a weird obsession with black men and what they got going on down there. The white man's fascination and obsession with the black phallus, the BBC, is incredibly like unsettling and insane. And once you come to the realization of what's going on, you won't be able to look at it the same. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, I didn't really mind it too much when I was like younger in high school, but like as time went on, I'm starting to notice a pattern. It's getting worse because I played college ball, you know what I'm saying? And once I got to college, it got so much worse, bruh. And just like anything, it goes back to slavery and the sheer surprise of what the Europeans saw whenever they came to Africa. Really, white men have an unhealthy obsession with like black bodies in general, but it's just like, since I'm a man, I'm speaking on like the male issue, the male part of it. And there's another aspect to this where it's like more physical, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like the white men want to have so many fantasies about overpowering a black man physically. And again, it goes back to slavery with like buck breaking. And there's not a lot of like concrete evidence that points towards like the existence of buck breaking, but like I don't put anything past these folks. You know what I'm saying? And they want to feel like they can, or they fantasize about physically overpowering a black man by like fighting them or just like straight up taking a life. You know what I mean? Because it's like they have this like irrational fear within themselves, and like under patriarchy, there's something that's going on in their brains where it's like there's like a little bit of like cognitive dissonance, and it's like I can't be a manly man and be scared of any black man no matter what they look like. So it's like they fantasize constantly about overpowering a black man physically in order to reclaim that self-inflicted emasculation. You know what I mean? Because it's like they want to feel like they have real power again, and that's why you get things like lynchings and blaming black men for sexually assaulting their women and giving themselves a reason to be violent towards black men. You know what I mean? So once you realize what's going on around you with like the white man and like the kind of questions they're asking you about what you got going on down there, you really like become extremely uncomfortable whenever like these kind of situations arise.
And by the way, all credit goes to these original creators. Like some of them have shared, it looks like some white men feel insecure because some white men feel like they are walking into a comparison that they cannot win. And to be honest, social media, movies, and stereotypes have pushed this idea that black men are more dominant, more masculine, or better in certain areas. So in the minds of some of these white men, they are already competing before even the relationship begins. So they feel intimidated by all that. However, this isn't about the reality. It's just about perception and insecurity. And like that lady has shared, these things, it's not that all black men are like the way they assume they are, and not that all white men are also weak or the way they assume they are. It's not something that people should be scared of, or that white men should be scared of and just instantly say, I'll not date a white woman who has been with a black man. Then the racial stereotypes, of course, that is another thing to consider, or another reason why some of these white men feel like they cannot date a white woman who has been with a black man. They are long-standing stereotypes, which are of course often exaggerated or false, about black men that influence how people think about them. So these stereotypes make the white men to feel like they are competing in a way that is uncomfortable. And they end up saying that I cannot date you just because you've been with a black man. You go to a bar, you meet up with someone, like you start talking, he asks you, by the way, have you been with a black man before? Immediately you say yes, it's a turn off for that white man, and says no, I cannot be with you. Then another reason that we can think of is the ego and the possessiveness of some white men over white women. Some men, regardless of race, struggle with the idea that their partner has ever had past partners. And of course, when race is involved, it can trigger stronger reactions because it feels different or unfamiliar with. Like one crate also shared, if a black man likes a white girl or a white woman whom a white man also likes, and then he finds out that, yeah, there is a black man also vibing her, of course, it will trigger him, he will feel so bad. And then also, like another also shared about cheating, when some white men find out that, their wives or partners or girlfriends have cheated on them with the black men, they get so much triggered by that. It's like, how come? At least you would have done it with another white man, not a black man, you know? So that is all ego and the idea that they are the ones supposed to have you and not any other man from another race. Social pressure also can make a white man to drop a white woman if they find out that you've been with a black man. From family, from friends, you know, where there is still that social conditioning, like you are not supposed to date outside your race. How can they hear that I'm dating or I'm going to marry a woman who has ever been with a black man? Then also this one, like one creator has shared there, internalized and explicit racism that some white men still have within them. And in some cases, it's more direct. That belief in racial purity, the discomfort with interracial relationships, and the negative biasness towards black men. And of course, this is the most problematic reason, and it really still exists. But again, of course, it's not universal. It's not that all white men feel like that. Plenty of white men don't really care about this. There are those who don't really care about their partner's past, including the interracial dating bit. So for those who may have been wondering why some of these white men ask white ladies if they have ever dated black men before, and then also they maybe lose interest in them, those are some of the reasons, together with those that those creators shared. And with that, I'll end this video here. What do you think about this? Is it really very serious? Like, should it really be an issue to consider? Or it's about someone's personality? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. And if you found this video interesting, please give it a like, subscribe, and let's catch up in the next one.